Welcome my students and viewers. Today I have posted a video itself on economics 2.1. There I have solved a few MCQs of micro and other MCQs that I have dealt with on this channel. Again I am with new MCQs, and today I thought it proper to give a little bit knowledge of skewness and kurtosis in terms of moments. Because what I have felt in my own teaching career, students are being taught in whether undergraduate or the PG classes, skewness and kurtosis is always explained in terms of non-moment measures. So given by a few economists, moment measures are never explained in class. So today I'll try to explain this skewness and this kurtosis in terms of moments. Few formulas are there for NET, GATE and this MCQ and other exams. Those formulas have to be kept in mind. What is skewness, what is kurtosis, I am going to explain. And those measures which are just in terms of moments, that is I am going to explain. So come on here. When we collect data on any variable, this is univariate distribution, just we are dealing with one variable x. We have collected data on x. We have classified it as per our own requirement or as per the requirement of the analysis or the research or whatever may be. After the data is being classified, it is duly represented by graph and diagrams. When the collected data, thereafter it was classified, and when it was just put on diagram, then corresponding to frequency curve, we had with our own that frequency distribution. When frequency distribution is plotted on a graph, we get the frequency curve, and frequency curve takes these forms. On this axis we have the variable x, and while plotting frequency curve, frequency is taken on the vertical axis. This is the base of plotting the frequency curve. This frequency curve can have various shapes. 3 shapes are here. We are going to see what is happening. When we go to explain or to analyze the data, this is whole data, whatever we have collected. Then, first of all, we investigate about the central moments, that central values that are the averages. Fine. Then we go for the dispersion, that is how far value have dispersed around their mean or the other measures that comes under dispersion. That dispersion is generally taught in class that well it is a standard deviation, mean deviation, quartile deviation, this that. This dispersion has been tried to explain in the moment measures. That how virtually this moment word has been taken from physics. This word doesn't relate to economics or statistics. Simply here what I have to try to observe that how far the variable of x, that is the value of x or the what value of x tries to revolve around of its particular value. Let me explain it. We have the various values of x. Moments tries to see that which value of x or around which value of x tries to rotate or tries to revolve. This is what meaning statistics has taken, and we just conclude with statistics. So while we are investigating this frequency curve, how far this tail behaves, this is skewness. And what is the behavior of the top of the curve? This is kurtosis. So first is skewness and kurtosis. So skewness is the study of the tail of the frequency curve, and this kurtosis is the study of the top of the frequency curve. Now, in few words about skewness, if skewness is 0, this frequency curve is symmetrical. This happens in the case of normal distribution, where both these trails are equally and identically traced. Virtually, skewness means tilting of the curve, either towards left or right. If it is not tilted towards either left or right, and its tail is absolutely equal behavior, then we say that here skewness is 0 and curve is said to be symmetrical, and this is an assumption of the normal distribution. So in case of normal distribution, we don't have any skewness, and whatever top is being obtained under normal distribution, this top is called mesokurtic. This is kurtosis. So zero is skewness, and this is supposed to be bell shaped. The top of the normal distribution has to be bell shaped, though it may not be looking like that, but it is usually bell shaped, and the top of the normal curve is called mesokurtic. Now any frequency curve which has its top just taller or the sharper than the mesokurtic, this is leptokurtic curve. This is sharper than normal, it is leptokurtic. And any top of any frequency curve which is flatter than this mesokurtic, this is platykurtic, flatter than normal. So this is about the top of the kurtosis. And now about skewness. Skewness is 0 when it is equally stressed both tails. When the right tail is more stressed than its left, it is called positive skewness. And in non-moment measures, positive skewness is taken when mean happens to be the largest of all the three averages, greater than mode as well as the greater than median. So when mean happens to be greater than mode or median, it is said to be positive skewness. And when the curve is tilted towards left and its top is flatter than the mesokurtic, so it is called platykurtic curve. So in the non-moment measures, this is the explanation. And now in the non-moment measures, we have the formula, Karl Pearson, Bowlett, Bailey, Silly, this is that formula. Here we are interested with moment measures. Now we have to switch towards the moment. What moment is defined? Two types of moments are defined in statistics. If this is a variable, here 0, and somewhere in its mean, when we go to investigate the moment of this variable, then we shall try to get its moment around this 0, one thing. Secondly, we might be interested in knowing how does it behave around any constant A, then that will be moment around any constant A. And the most important moments are defined, that how this X had its moment around its own mean, that will be called central moments. Moment around the mean, that is called central moments, and moments around any constant A. So these two moments we are going to investigate. We shall have two types of moments. Moment of X around its mean, that will be the central moments, and moment of X around any constant, any arbitrary constant A. So we shall have two types of constant moments. This letter mu dash r, if dash is above, this shows that this moment will be around any arbitrary constant A. So, and r says the number of moments. So mu dash r, rth moment about any constant A. A could be any arbitrary number as per the requirement of the researcher or the research, whatever may be. And this is mu r, central moments. R says degree of moment, mu r, rth central moment. It will be pronounced as rth central moment. So mu r. Now these two moments are calculated as 1 by n summation, 1 by n summation x minus that constant raised to the power r. This r is the degree of the moment. So it was the rth moment, so it is r. Had it been first moment, r would be 1. If it is the second moment, r would be 2. So r varies, and the central moment, that is the rth moment around mean, is 1 by n summation x minus x bar raised to the power r. This is the difference. These two crude formulas for finding central moments as well as any moment around any constant A. Now, in this little time, what I am subjected, and this happens to be constraint for me, that I have to explain a lot of things within a little piece of time. So if we have these two formulas, these two original expressions, then we are going to define central constants, the statistical constants, and that was given by Karl Pearson, a great personality in statistics. A lot of credit goes to this gentleman. Anyway, this is beta 1. Beta 1 is a square of third central moment minus cube of second central moment. But prior to this I forgot to explain. Yes. So 0th moment around mean is 1. 0th around mean or 0th central moment, whatever you may call it. So this is 0th moment is 1, and second moment around mean, this happens to be the variance. Second moment around mean is variance, and first moment around mean happens to be 0. So this has to be kept. X bar is A plus first moment around any constant. A bar, A plus first moment around in any constant. And so this is mean and this is variance. That would be mu2. This is second moment around any constant and first moment around any constant square of this. So this is the formula. And third moment around mean, that is a third central moment. This is the formula. This is mu3 dash. This is third arbitrary constant moment. 3 mu2 dash v1 dash. This is second moment and first moment around any constant, and this is twice of first moment around any constant and cube of that, and that is the fourth central moment. These first moment, second, third and fourth, that will be needed here. So fourth central moment is fourth moment around any constant minus 4 mu3 dash. This is third moment around any constant, first moment around any constant, and 6 mu2 dash any constant at this second moment around any constant, and a square of the first moment around any constant, and minus 3 mu1 dash raised to the power 4. So this happens to be the formulas to be used, or it has to be memorized from exam point of view. Now with the help of these three central moments, we have defined beta 1 square of third central moment divided by cube of second central moment. This is variance, nothing else. Mu2. I have written about. This is variance. Beta 2 is mu4 by a square of the variance. Now variance is itself sigma square. So in terms of sigma, that could be written as mu4 by sigma raised to the power. Now this is SD. Mu2 was variance, and just in terms of sigma, the same expression could be written as sigma 4. Gamma is written as under root b1, beta 1, sorry. Gamma is under root beta 1. Beta 1 has been defined here. So mu3 square by mu2 cube. Its order, its power is slightly arranged. Mu3 square, alright. Mu2 is variance. Variance is sigma square. So this is the cube of variance. Variance is sigma square. Now this sigma base has two exponents, and exponents can be interchanged in mathematics. So this could be written as mu3 square and a square of sigma cube. Sigma is SD. Now the numerator and denominator both have become a square, so a root and a square could be also taken. So this gamma is mu3 by sigma 3, and gamma 2 is beta 2 minus 3. All are the formulas. If students and viewers want that these all formulas should be derived in the class, I'll be happily get it. But from exam point of view, these things have to be kept in mind. And gamma 2 is beta 2 minus beta 3. Now, for the kurtosis, these are the three. For mesokurtic, beta 2 has to be 3 or gamma 2 0. A curve would become mesokurtic if beta 2, which is defined above, beta 2 is 3 exactly or gamma 2 is 0. A curve is leptokurtic for which beta 2 has to be greater than 3 or gamma 2 that has to be positive, and a curve is platykurtic if beta 2 is less than 3 or gamma 2 is negative. So these are the limits of values of just in terms of beta 2 and gamma. Most important becomes beta 2 and gamma. So, and for skewness, for a normal curve, that for skewness to be 0, beta 1 has to be 0. And for beta 1 to be 0, the numerator of beta 1 has to be 0. Numerator of beta 1 is mu 3. This can never be 0 because it is a variance. Variance can never be 0. Very, very rare, very unanticipated. So beta 1 can be 0 only if this numerator is 0. So there is no skewness symmetrical if beta 1 is 0 or mu 3 is 0. Sign of skewness is decided by numerator, because this will never be negative. This is the variance. SD itself is positive. A square of SD is variance. So this is always positive. So skewness would be positive or negative. That depends upon the sign of the meter. This mu 3, that is a third moment around mean. And if mu 3 is positive, we have a positive skewness. And if mu 3 is negative, we have a negative skewness. So from exam point of view, I think few formulas I have collected and given the students. Now, in next class, I am going to show you MCQs based on this formula. So better you just go through these all formulas, write it down, keep it in your mind, and in the next MCQs, I am going to solve various sums and numericals based on this. So I think in a very little time, I have explained skewness and kurtosis in terms of moments, and these formula very important from exam point of view. So this is all. Thank you.